Uh, Hello, how you guys doing? My name is George White. This the real George White, because the state kind of like trying to modify my information and make me somebody that I'm not. But seriously though, the reason I'm making this video is because I would like to expose the state of Illinois, the county of Cook, the Illinois State Police, parole, 35th in Michigan, all entities, government officials that pertains to the violent offender, child murder and violent offender against youth registration, and both registrations, that they knowingly subjecting me to a penal application and other things correlating to the violent offender against youth registration to enforce an offense, matter of fact, two offenses that I never served time under the sequence and manner in which they presently have, which is double jeopardy. So let me give you a brief summary about what I'm talking about. After serving 16 and a half years under B39921 at 50% and receiving all restoration for good conduct credits and lost time, in which was 30 days, by Warden Tilker, under Warden Tilker, in which pertains to a disciplinary infraction, dangerous contraband, and non-public offense that occurred in Joliet, CC, in which I later received 2 years for at 50% in 1995, in which I served and completed from 206 to 207 while incarcerated in Robert Correctional Facility by expiration of a sentence under the umbrella of Warden Tilker. I then served out the remainder of my time, my primary offense, which is the 93 subject matter and single subject matter of murder as a first-time offender in 2008 by expiration of sentence. So I did a total of 16 and a half years in the Illinois Department of Correction by both expiration of sentence. I then was sentenced by the Prison Review Board in 2008 while in Robinson Correctional Facility to 3 years home monitoring, in which I'm required to do by statute after expiration of sentence in my primary case. The 95 subject matter that y'all constantly kind of like, tossing around, y'all didn't figure out what was going on, that was resolved non-publicly in 2006 and 2007. That's why there's no additional information, in y'all database under the new George White that y'all created. Okay. After being sentenced to 3 years home monitoring, in which I'm required to do by statute for the single subject of murder, not as a violent offender or sex offender, I don't know where the fuck that came from, under my pre-release information, in which I actually did a live interview while in Robinson Correctional Facility, a recorded interview by the Prison Review Board, confirming that my criminal liability was over with under the single subject of murder, under the 32-year subject matter. That was over with in 2008. Prior to any transfer from Robinson Correctional Facility, prior to any release from the Illinois Department of Correction for the single subject of murder, this was resolved already. Therefore, I was required to, by law, by the Prison Review Board's agreement, to serve 3 years home monitoring, in which I attempted to do. In 2009, while on the streets, while I was trying to serve my time, somehow I was subjected to the violent offender against youth registration that I found out later was an error. They subject me to a penal application for the subject matter I told you about, the 32-year subject matter, the 93 subject matter, that was accidentally, I ain't going to see accidentally I was subjected to. I was knowingly subjected to by parole, Illinois State Police, all entities involved. If y'all do y'all homework about, do your research, all those entities and all those public officials involved in that situation. I was subjected to knowing it. Okay, as you can see through my so-called history under this new George White from 209 on forth, that I caught a few violations because of this bogus, malicious act by the Illinois State Police, by the 35th, by parole. I've been knowingly subjected to these laws that correlates to the Violent Offender Against Youth registration and other registrations by error. I did time. I was arrested a few times because of my lack of knowledge in the new laws. My lack of knowledge of what was really going on until now. I've been through enough. Did some time unlawfully. I lost a lot of things in the course of this. I'm being followed by the police every day, daily, because they notice. Information has been concealed by parole to try to accommodate the BS. The Illinois State Police is on, the 35th is on, Illinois State, Illinois is on, Cook County is on, the courts is on. This is like, it's so crazy. But my whole thing is, because I don't want to get off track. The reason I'm making this video is because I want to expose how corrupt all these entities is, how corrupt the courts are, how corrupt the police department is, how corrupt parole is, how dangerous MSR is after the fact, because it's subjected to laws, not knowing the internal information, which can be dangerous. And this is my whole issue for making this video. Basically, my information was modified. I was indicted by the police in Cook County Jail for 2 new offenses, which was murder, under a different sequence, under a different George Wide, under a different incident report, under a different sequence and time that displays 32 years. So they gave me 4 offenses, 2 new offenses though, that so-called was supposed to be retroactive to the 93 subject matter. How can that be? That wasn't how I served my time. That was not the sequence of how I served my time under the first George Wide. So they indicted me and they played on it, they kept playing on it, they kept playing on it. As you can see through my criminal record, I've been indicted, I've been maliciously persecuted, situations have been covered up. In 2013, after I've been indicted, served time unlawfully, after I've been trying to fight for my life, which you can see, and I'm not keen with the law, then they've been giving me all these so-called public offenders that's worked for the state of Illinois, the courts. So they not aware of what's going on. They're not trying to know what's going on. Yes, I was subjected to a lot and was forced to do things out of threat. A liberty issue. So, of course, I did a lot of things to accommodate that. I wanted my freedom, of course. Who don't? After serving that amount of time, the first time, served my debt to society. My criminal liability was over with 2008, before I was released. Even after I was sentenced from the Prison Review Board, 2011, my case was over with by expiration of sentence under parole too. So all these factors over with. But it didn't get to that. That was later found in 2013, which there's a disposition on under Agent Carter. She has the disposition. This was found. I was arrested again, but this time somebody caught it. I was sent to the Illinois Department of Corrections, seen the Prison Review Board. What they did was they released me non-publicly from Pontiac Correctional Facility in 2013. They actually told my wife and called my wife over the phone, which we have on phone records, to come get me. I was there unlawfully. Sent me home. Told me to be quiet. I did. I've been quiet. Then, while I was quiet at home, I tried to go to work one day. I was pulled over. You know, they looking for me, you know, because they saying I'm not complying now. This information was not conveyed to the state police. This information was not conveyed to parole. It was given to me. There's a disposition on it. Error delete case. This is not the way this man served his time. They ignored that because there's a conviction on it. There are arrests, so it's in plain view now. This is what they're not looking at. They're looking at what's in that database. Under the new George Wide, under these new offenses, which is double jeopardy. This is my reason for today. Agent Carter, she has the disposition, which I will be subpoenaing her on. If I have to file a mandamus, I will be filing a mandamus to retrieve that information. Currently, I'm going through the same situation. They still trying to cover this information up. and they still trying to enforce this BS on me. I actually went to court, had to bond out, and go through the same process based on the same information I'm conveying to y'all. So my whole thing is I'm making this video because I would like to protect myself and tell you what's going on, because I will be sending this to some type of investigation on a federal level.